Hey crew, it's Mike with Riding in the Ozarks, and I just got done watching the Harley Davidson 2022 launch event for the new models on January 26th. So the global reveal is done. I'm going to tell you how I did on my 5 predictions and what my initial reactions are after a couple of hours of seeing this and getting to look at some of the specs and investigate a few things. Let's get into it. First, let's see how I did on my 5 predictions. 1, I predicted they would talk about the 975 Sportster. Well, I'm only going to give myself about 50% here. They did mention it, and they showed a few more clips of it and teased it, but they did not talk about the way I thought. So I'm going to give myself a half point, not a whole point for that one. Prediction number 2 was the Lowrider S with the 117. If you go back and watch the video I did on that, you'll see that I nailed that one. I got everything right on it, so we're going to give myself a full point there. So we're 1.5 out of 2 points so far. Let's look at prediction number 3. Prediction number 3 were that the CVOs would get an upgrade to like a 122 engine. I get a big fat 0. A big fat 0. Thank you, Harley Davidson. I got that one wrong. I put too much faith in you to think that for an extra $10,000 for a CVO model, you'd get a bigger engine than you would get in an ST model. But that's on me for expecting too much and being too optimistic, so I get a 0 on number 3. Number 4, I said they would tease the next bike that's going to come out with the Revolution Max engine, and I kind of got that right, but it's not quite what I thought. I mean, I really thought they were going to talk about the 975 and tease something else. They didn't, so I'm only going to give myself a half a point there. Now I'm at 2 whole points out of 4, 50%. So let's talk about the last point. The last thing was the Lowrider ST. I thought they might originally do a parts and accessories thing on that. I thought that made more sense than making it a full-fledged model. I actually talked to a sales manager, and he said that those parts and accessories packages just don't sell well. People don't know they exist, or they want to customize them, and they don't want to do the whole package and things like that. And I guess that may be why we're seeing a whole new model for the Lowrider ST. So I'm going to give myself a half a point on that one. So 2.5 points total out of 5. I didn't do better than 50%, I would say, on predicting what Harley's doing. And some of that's probably my own fault for being a little too optimistic. I should have known that normally I don't think Harley does as much as we expect them to or want them to. And that's the norm. And I think we set ourselves up for disappointment. And I did that a little bit. Although I can't say I'm terribly disappointed in the event as a whole and the ST models and some of the things they've done. I actually thought with the pricing on the ST models and the Lowrider ST, they came in better than I expected. But I am disappointed that the CVOs didn't get a motor upgrade when the ST models are getting a 117. I'm disappointed we didn't get more information about the next Revolution Max Sportster. So those are things I thought they would do, and they did not, and that's my mistake. All right, I have one more new prediction after watching this. So I think they're going to make a icon model using this new Lowrider ST platform as a basis. Fancy paint job, some different things, making it look more nostalgic like an FXRT from the past, but it's going to use the new fairing and things like that. But I think that will probably be the icon model this year. What do you guys think? Do you think that makes sense for the icon model this year to be a FXRT style bike, iconic, but using the Lowrider ST platform now? Make sure you leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think of that idea. Or do you think the icon model is going to be something totally different? I think the Lowrider S at 18.4 with a 117 motor is a great deal over the 18,000 it was last year with the 114 motor. And you get a new gauge, some other things. So I think the Lowrider S is a great deal. I don't think they jacked the price up a lot because they put a bigger motor in it or anything like that. So I'm really excited to see that. I think the Lowrider S is going to be extremely popular. I think the Lowrider ST, a lot of people are really excited about. From what I saw on the website, I think the Lowrider ST is around $21,750. That's about $3,500 over the Lowrider S. So for that $3,500, you get this new fixed fairing, and you get the saddlebags already mounted on. They are a quick detach. You have a solo seat, which I think the Lowrider S has a solo seat still. So not a lot of differences there. I don't know, $3,500, probably not a bad value You got the 117 and all that stuff, and you can finance that all out. You're not buying it and then buying aftermarket parts to put on it after you finance the bike and some of those things. So I don't think the Lowrider ST is a bad value. I think it's not bad. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with what they did there. I'm probably a little more impressed with what they did with the Lowrider S and the Lowrider ST than I am with the Street Glide ST and the Road Glide ST. And let's just talk about that for a second, what you're getting there. The Street Glide Special, I'm going to use as an example, starts at $27,500. The Street Glide ST starts at $30,000. So what do you get for $2,500? Well, you get a 117 motor. And you get some brass or gold looking trim in the engine. You get the brass looking gold trimmed wheels. What else do you get? Oh, you get a bigger suspension. I didn't say better, I said bigger. The rear suspension is raised up about an inch. Instead of getting the slammed shock that has less travel that you see on the Special, you're getting the standard height shock that they put on like the Ultra Limiteds, and it's raising the seat height up about 3/4 of an inch, almost an inch, not quite. And so you get a higher seat height, and you get about 3/4 of an inch of more travel in the rear suspension. I think it goes from 2.15 to 3 inches rear travel. But in the video, they talked about the performance bagger from King of the Baggers, and they talked about Olin suspension. And I think there was some confusion. I think some people think that's going to be part of the package. I'd heard that initially before watching the video today, but it's not part of the package. You're not getting Olin suspension as part of this base price of $30,000. If you go look in the parts and accessories and search for the Olin suspension, it's about $1,450 upgrade. If you think I'm wrong, you could pour through the specs. I do not see anything that talks about the Olin suspension in the specs, in the description of the bike, in the press release, anything like that. Now, if they were putting that on there, I think they'd brag about it. So for the $2,500, you're getting a limitation to 2 color options. You're getting a blacked out engine, whether you like black or chrome. You don't get a choice. You get a blacked out engine with the gold or brass looking accents. And, that's about, and you get standard height saddlebags instead of the extended saddlebags. So you can get more lean angle. You can get more aggressive. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn there. I mean, if you really want the 117 engine for $2,500 more, then yeah, that's great, because you can do that and not spend the $40,000 to go up to the CVO. I think the CVOs have great paint. They have a lot of extra stuff that a lot of people don't realize till they buy one, but they do charge a premium for it. And so if you just want that performance and you don't care about all that other stuff, then I think the ST is going to be a popular option. I'm not even sure that the ST won't maybe outsell the Specials. For $2,500 more, do you get the 117, do a stage 1 on that. And I know somebody that did one on a CVO, and they got some really good numbers out of it. If I was going to trade my bike in right now for a new Street Glide, and mine's a 103, for $2,500 more, I'd probably jump to the ST. Only problem is I'd have to run a passenger seat part of the time. I do ride 2 up, and I think it's a solo only seat. Another thing I want to touch on, because somebody sent me a screenshot from the mobile app talking about like 130 foot-pounds of torque or something like that. That's not right. There is apparently a misprint in the Harley Davidson app that somebody looked at on the mobile side, and the horsepower numbers for the 117 are like 126 foot-pounds and I think 106 horsepower. If you're looking at the Street Glide Special with the 114, you're looking at about 118 foot-pounds of torque and about 97 horsepower. So you're looking at 10 or 12 bump on the horsepower and the torque by going to the 117. And for $2,500, rather than spending $1,000 on a stage kit, maybe I would do that. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. Without the performance suspension being included, I really have to think hard about this. I just have to look at the bikes. I'm not real big on the paint options. I'm not out for the gray, so that makes me no difference. I would rather have vivid black between the 2 options. So I just don't know that for $2,500 to get the 117 engine, it's really worth it to me. It's tough. Now, don't get me wrong. I like what Harley's doing. I like that they're going to be they're paying more attention to the performance-oriented market, and they're trying to follow those trends. I'm just a little disappointed that we didn't get better suspension as part of the stock package. That's still going to be an aftermarket upgrade. But, those are my initial thoughts, my initial reaction. I have not poured through everything yet. There'll be more videos to come in the coming weeks. You guys have been awesome on the channel for the last couple of months. Lots of information from lots of people and stuff. I know some people are wanting to know what my reaction was today. I've been getting messages on Instagram and email and things like that. So I told you I'd put it out in a video. Here it is. This is my reaction to the launch. Hope you guys had a good time. I hope you are excited about what's going on with Harley Davidson. I do think there's a lot of positive stuff here. I'm just not sure that it's quite as exciting as I thought it was at first. I guess that's my thing. When I dig into it a little more, I'm a little less excited about it. And that's okay. I still think it's a step in the right direction. I'm excited to see what they do with the Revolution Max platform. I'm excited to see them make a step in the right direction with performance baggers. So, hope you guys like this video. If you do like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you do that YouTube thing, check out the content on my channel. And if you dig it, hit the subscribe button down below. Don't forget to ring that bell to be notified the next time I drop a new video. And as always, thank you for your support. Stay safe and keep on riding.